welcome to my short presentation of the assignment of my app Shiftify. Shiftify is an app for forging the best possible shift plan on a nurse station. You can log in as a nurse and set your shift priorities freely on each day. When you are a shift owner, you can see the user's priorities of your station. For navigation, I use the nav host fragment in my main activity, so I can use it to start the navigation. Here's my nav graph for the nav component, so I can combine all my fragments, all my views with actions. You are presented with the welcome to Shiftify screen, where you can either log in or register. So when you're a new user, you click register. You can give all your credentials, like so. You type in your password and repeat it. And so now you can choose whether you're a nurse or you're a shift owner. So for this time we choose nurse. So now you have to present the station code your shift owner gave you, so you can join the shift owner station. For this time we choose pediatrics, which is a station already created. And now you can register, and hopefully everything goes as expected. And yes, your registration is successful. John Doe was created in the authentication database. I used Google Auth. So here I created a auth entity where you can log in with all the registration data I present here. So here are some checks if all input is valid, and then the data is used to register. It's basically a listener which is attended to the auth method create user with email and password. As a nurse, you are presented with a calendar view of the current month you are in. So what is the calendar view? A calendar view is a own implementation of a recycler view, which has its adapter to present the days of each month. With the previous and next button you can switch, so you can switch the month of each year. So first there's the last index calculated. It's basically the last day of the current month and -1 because it's an index. So then there's the day of week of the first day of the month created. So and then basically a calendar iterator is created. So it's a iterator starting from the first day in the week before the first day of the month, by starting at the position of the recycler view and minus the day of the week the month calendar starts. So then there's the day of month string created with my own toString method. So then it's checked if or whether the current calculated day is outside the limit, so it's after the last index of the calendar, or is not in the same month, and otherwise it is a on-click listener is created and some visual appearance is different, so it shows this is an element of the month where you can click on. When you want to set the priority as a nurse, you can click on a day you want to change your priorities. So for this purpose I want to change the 1st January 2022. You get presented a priority view. Here you can see some linear layouts with different colors, each representing a different priority. For example, if you want to have holiday shift a higher priority, you long press on it and then you can drag it, for example at the highest priority, which is represented as a star, and drop it. So for this I want to set the early shift as a higher priority, and I don't like the night shift, so I put it down at the bottom. The last two I don't want to choose. So if I want to save this, and I can press OK, or can press OK next. So here's the priority fragment, which extends the on-long click listener and on-drag listener. On-long click listener helps with the click event on the card view, and the on-drag listener listens to the drag event. So when we release the tab, then the material card of the shift gets released, and the linear layout underneath accepts the card. So here's the on-long click. When you tap long enough on a material card, then a clip data gets created and built underneath the view. When you drag it onto a certain layout, like the colored linear layouts, the clip data gets extracted, and the priority from the linear layout, it's a tag, and the title of the shift from the card gets used to set the shift priority, and then it gets saved on Firebase. I started two emulators. One on the left is logged in as a nurse. The second one is an emulator where I logged in as a shift owner. So the left one is a nurse working at the station of this shift owner on the right. So when I choose the row shift owner as the shift owner, I get presented a calendar view. So here I can not see my priorities I choose as a shift, but I can see all the priorities my nurses choose at the given shift. So when I, for example, choose the 1st of January, I can see all my nurses here, which shift and which priority they choose. So here I mapped all my priorities from the symbols to a data value. So the least priority is 1 and the highest priority is 10. So when on the left, I can choose, for example, here also 1st of January. I can see my priorities here. So from the log, I'm John Doe. So when I change my shifts, for example, I now want to choose the night shift to be my first priority, my highest priority, and the holiday my least priority, and save, my values get updated instantly. Herefore I use the Firebase real-time database. At first I have a users database where I get all my users. Then the plans listener, which is a object of value event listener, which has its methods on data change and on cancelled. The on data change method, I get all my nurses. And this is a name to nurse DTO. It then gets filtered, so only the nurses are shown which are under my station. Then it gets mapped with my entity mapper. So I have only my nurses, my string to nurses, my name to nurses map. Then I map it to my elements, so I only have a name to plan element map. So this is basically it.